Three, two, one, go. We are in the third round. We are grinding through, fam. Let's get it. Chicago starts off the first pick of the third round, pick 64. They take that D lineman. If you can't get Carter, you can get Kobe Turner. Flashes, right? Wake Forest, good team. He is explosive up the middle, and I think he gives you some stuff ability as well. Again, I favor the bigger guys versus the 3T type guys, and the Bears openly shared that they need that nucleus, that nose tackle right in the middle of that defense for everything else to work correctly, and I hope he can do that for them. Very exciting. Another one of my favorite players, Olsegin Oluwademi, out of Michigan. He is the just criminally underrated center for the Michigan Wolverines, and he will be a nucleus type piece on the offense for the Texans, and I think that's fantastic. He can suit up right next to Hooker behind him, and all your new gadgets and toys out there as well. That's a big deal. I think he is absolutely a name that you're going to hear about a lot next year. I don't know how these boards and these people have him ranked down in the 150 range, 200 range. That is just absurd to me. He's a mauler. He is a physical freak, and he is a smart, technical center who can also move and play, pull and find his guys and his marks and his keys in space. He is absolutely one of my favorite players in this draft, hands down. Cardinals, same thing, right? We took a lot of offensive line to rock that thing up. We're building from the inside out. This is what we are doing and how we are doing it. And we take another big boy as your center, your rook, your linchpin in the front line to eat space, eat blocks, and he has some decent little pass rush move swimmage to just collapse that pocket or punch right through it. TFLs on running backs and quarterbacks who hesitate too long. Freak and not getting nearly enough talk, right? This is where you see, like, these are starters. These are NFL players, and they're still sitting there, right? It's a good time to maybe move around, package some stuff, and shore up some legit players, right? Same thing. Broncos, first picks of the draft. Funny feeling they should probably be moving around a little bit. This was a tough one for me until I realized I had 2 picks in a row, because obviously you want to solidify that line. They went and paid money to big men. They've got some big men coming back. It's going to be a good looking new second year. Got rid of Nathaniel Hackett, sent him back to Aaron Rodgers, I believe. And so that's a good situation for everybody. Those are kind of win-wins, right? And Sean Payton will get in and make this right. But for me, we take the guard to shore up that line with injury potential and a new best 5 out there. And then Julius Brents is one of my favorite underrated players. He's a tick slow maybe and long speed. Like, you worry about him getting like double moved and burnt over the top. But he is such a tremendous athlete and such a long, physical. He's an excellent player, and I think he could be really good. I just worry about that twitch speed on the back end. But you can play with that, right? Get your boundary, your lockdown, your zone, uptight, press. I think he'll excel at that. I really do. LA gets another one, and Devin the dude. We take another Devin in the draft that I really, really like. He is explosive, fast, scat back, third down back. We don't know what's going on with Elker, one of my all-time favorite fantasy pimps. And this guy's very similar, potentially, right? If he's strong enough. Pound for pound, the baddest player in the NFL, Elker, love him. Don't know what's happening there. But LA's got a lot of ways they can go and not a lot of capital. It'll be interesting to see what they shake and move, or if they stand pat and get some, marquee cornerstone type players back on the roster, and build a little more conservatively and correctly, for Stafford's eventual replacement. We shall see. Raiders, same kind of a deal, right? These are guys that are not getting all the airtime. But Kenyon White is a super underrated edge player. He's got the size, which a lot of these guys do not have in this class. They're either fast and twitchy and good, or they're not big enough, right? They're your little guys that could miss and not hold up on the edge and in the NFL in a 17-plus game season. Kenyon White has the size, and I think he's got some of the skills, and I think he's going to be really good potentially, which brings me to another of my absolute favorite players in this draft. I can't think of the name. I'll have to drop it later. But there's a couple dudes that were pulling a lot of guys aside at the combine and talking ball with them on the defensive lines, and just some great conversations to get some candid insight and introspection and one-on-one time with the player and what they see and feel and who they are as players on the chalkboard rather than just tape on the field. And Chandler Zavala is character, smarts, skills. These O-linemen do not get credit for how smart they have to be and what they have to do down in and down out in the NFL, right? Everybody wants the skill and the show and the flash. These guys do the dirty work, and they have to do it well, because one little mistake, and these guys coming for your quarterback's head, blowing up, turnovers, pressure. These are split-second decisions off the ball. Your defense, you can move and shift and play games and stuff. Those O-linemen have to sit there and take it, right? They have to know what's coming before it's coming, and then they have to handle it. And I think Chandler Zavala is potentially a top 10 guard, top 15, 20 guard in the league, right? And that's with 2 on the field for every team, every down. So that's how highly I think of his potential. We shall see. Another guy, absolutely freaking love, Isaiah Foskey. Another guy nobody's talking about. He has got speed and twitch and explosion off the line. He has the size. Length-wise, I mean, not the bulk as much, but the length and that bend. There aren't a ton in this class, and I think he is one of the top potential edge rushers in this class, so you can jot that down. And the Titans continue to build cornerstone, important pieces to building a football team the right way. Tackles, edge, have their D-line. Build the whole team, right? And run Tanny one more time, and then take your quarterback. Or let Malik Davis razzle-dazzle. I believe in building the football team the right way, and I think that's exactly what a Foskey is. Really good player. Not nearly enough press. Maybe the opposite, but now the Texans grabbed that wide receiver. I was bumbling on the last one. There's too many picks, too many people, too many teams. But now they have quarterback, edge, offensive line, center, and Cedric Tillman, I think, is criminally underrated. He was one of the absolute first wide receivers I watched during the holidays, right at the beginning of the year, and I like everything about him. He's your prototypical big size, possession, red zone receiver, and he has some high-end second gear, and he floats into the space and the zones in the right way. Good hands. I think he is going to be a solid number 2 receiver in the NFL, and to take him at 73 feels fantastic to me. I'm 100% all over that. I like it a lot. So, like I said, Texans having a hell of a draft. You know, when you're absolutely the damn worst team in the league, that tends to happen, but they don't all go down like that, and this is a solid draft for the Houston Texans, the B team for the state of Texas. Just saying. Again, we have the exact same conversation on every safety for some reason in this class, but Jordan Battle is beastie. I think this might actually be Cleveland's first pick, which is super weird and terrible. But I guess we'll all see if Deshaun Watson can massage the NFL back to greatness. He made me very uncomfortable at the draft I was at. I believe that's the Baker Mayfield draft. He was all blacked out, gangstered out. And I thought quiet, confident, could be excellent. And he is excellent at football. But, you know, for me, it's character stuff too. I don't know the guy. God bless him and his family. I hope everybody's well. Hope everything was BS. But, you know, if a sheep calls a wolf 25 times, that bugs the crud out of me. And I think it's creepy. And I think it has tanked the Browns due to greed and vanity and lust. I hate to be religious. That's not really what I mean, but you know what I mean. Back to the toilet they were in for my entire life. And I hate to see it because I like Zach Taylor and I like the way they were building the team. And I hate that decision and that direction for me. Anyway, Cleveland rocks. LeBron's the GOAT, and great city, great people. It's a football town. It's draft day, baby. Jordan Battle's good. Safety. Need him. It's good. Underrated. Nick Saldiveri actually gained the most weight at the Fat Boy Fogo de Show offensive line dinner. So that tells me the guy's a worker, hard worker, pounding that beef. Okay. Underrated, small school, excellent tackle prospect. And this time you're looking for the most bang for your buck. And that feels about right for me. I'm interested to see where he goes. I think he will be an excellent, never talked about, right? One of those guys who's just like, man, their line's pretty good. And I don't know those guys, right? You want a lineman that does his job, does it well, and you never hear his name. No penalties, shit like that. And that's my guy right there, worker. Falcons need it. We're rebuilding the right way. Same kind of deal. Tyler Steen, not talked about enough. Some of these tackles moved around from school to school. So it's interesting to see their jump and their progress. I think Alabama did great things for him, from what I hear from scouts and things. And Patriot, hardworking, need to build that line for Mackey, Crybaby McMack, or whoever plays quarterback in a year or two. We shall see. But we are grinding. We're putting the pieces in place. Patriot style. Do your job. LA gets another couple picks with Darius Rush. I think he's excellent. Absolutely excellent. Some of my CBs and DBs in skill positions slide a little because I put such an emphasis on the big men, but I think that's how it should be. And I think if all the teams were doing it the right way, that's certainly something that can happen. And that is absolutely tremendous value to try and fill the shoes of Jalen Ramsey and build the right way for LA and the Rams moving forward. Same kind of deal, actually. Another not talked about enough player, Carl Brooks, was, first round conversations in a lot of mocks and a lot of situations super early. And I haven't seen a ton of the tape, but I think he's solid. I think he's real good. And they build Corvettes in Bowling Green, or they used to. And so let's go. Ferrari pass rusher with some beef. He is kind of that, he checks all of the boxes. And do you get the splash plays? I don't know. But I think